A very happy new year to all of you and welcome back to the channel. This little extra care for my plants is because I'm going on a 4 days trip and I want them to survive on their own. Before you consider it as a tour or travel video, let me tell you it's not. It's mostly about entering into this new year with a whole different perspective, a new outlook towards life, lot of positivity and trying to achieve the best version of myself. It may look like a holiday or a vacation, which it actually is, but the word break makes more sense to me. This new year was different for us. There was no going out, partying, gathering, or any other usual things that we have done earlier during the new year times. We rather stayed at home, cooked our healthy homemade meals, and enjoyed it with the family. The very next day, which was the 2nd of January, we were traveling, so we went out on a very tiny shopping, which was only for the necessary items. Working a full-time job or not, I love taking care of my household and my child. Having said that, the idea of homemaking and being the perfect parent always fascinates me. Now, it's sometimes overwhelming as well, and I'm sure most of you would relate to this. But this year, I have decided to be a different version of myself by taking care of my mental health, physical health, and also investing a lot of my energy in doing the things that make me happy and brings a lot of joy to my life. While returning, we noticed this very new stall in our locality, so we thought of giving it a try. For the dinner, we decided to try our hands on this dish called appam from Kerala with some coconut milk. They usually have it with some chicken or mutton curry, but for us it was enough of chicken and mutton in the past few days, so we wanted to keep it as light as possible for the dinner. I have seen my mother-in-law prepare this dish several times at home, so I was quite familiar with the combination of appam and coconut milk, and I knew that it goes very well together. Considering it as my very first attempt, the result was quite satisfactory and I was proud of myself. Can't take all the credit as it was a teamwork. Husband contributed equally. While smelling it, tasting it, and reviewing each of my steps and telling me how it can be made perfect. He also stirred the spoon for me. Jokes apart, he did help me in cooking. As we were traveling the very next day, we yet had a lot of stuff to pack, and we wanted to wind up with the kitchen and dinner part as soon as possible so that we can spare some time for our packing. The very next day, as we were traveling at night, I had to prepare some dinner. So I decided to prepare some soya pulao and pack it for the dinner. There's no pause to the rush until you leave and reach. Doesn't that suit all sort of life situations? Every single time we take a break or a vacation, we make sure to live it like a break, to take a pause and slow down. We don't hurry or rush to explore the city, to cover all the tourist spots, but instead take it all slow. I was so tired to have a full meal that I just picked this kappa noodle and took a very good rest after this. This break during the new year was also to feel grateful for the last year, which we lived so beautifully. With a heart full of gratitude, we wanted to enter into this new year, which already arrived with so much to be thankful for. Every time I'm back from such breaks, I find myself in a very content zone. There's something very positive about such breaks. I'm sure it works the same for everyone. The kind of break we all need is different for each one of us, depending on what we choose to break the monotony of life. Some seek adventure, for some it's about taking a pause and self-reflecting, and for some people like me, it's a mix of both. However, it's interesting to experience a sudden change in our energy levels. The urge of looking good and taking care of ourselves, increased patience levels with family and others, and when we return, the feeling stays with us for a longer while. Which reminds me of this phrase I utterly believe into, that is, you can't pour out of an empty vessel. By this time, I'm sure some of you must be wondering and wanting to know where am I. So it's a hotel in Nagpur and we are here for a work related trip, but we did manage some time for a day out and we visited this railway museum. Indian Railways has a special place in my heart. The reason is my grandfather and father serving Indian Railways, and also me and my siblings growing up in a railway locality living in a railway quarter. Some of you might not relate to this and rather be reminded of the unhygienic train travels and not so good food, to which I totally agree and relate to. But you know how adults who grew up in a cant or army locality forever miss the environment when they move out? It's the same feeling for us.
This is for coach, right? Executive coach.
We tried to make the most of this day and I tried treasuring all the beautiful memories I could.
वो वाला ट्रेन है, इसमें जाएंगे. Run.
Coming back to the point, you can't pour out of an empty vessel. While we desire to give the best of ours to our family, we forget to introspect what we actually carry within. Is it worth giving? Are we happy enough to spread happiness around? Are we positive enough to create a positive environment around our loved ones? Are we really content and grateful enough to reassure our family about how everything in life may not be perfect, but it's beautiful? No matter how hard we try to appear and sound positive, there's no way we can do so while feeling or being anything opposite. For this year, I have a bucket list ready. I believe in keeping it to myself until I have ticked it off. Most of them are very tiny milestones but make a big difference if achieved. Such small milestones give me a lot of happiness and a reason to be proud of myself. Would love to know whether you have a bucket list ready or not. If not, I would really urge you to give this a try and thank me later. She knew she was being recorded and that's why this performance. Anyways, well, I hope this new year brings a lot of joy and prosperity to you. May you tick off everything in your bucket list this year and I wish you a very healthy life ahead. So with the promise of meeting you very soon with the next video, this is Rachel signing off. Keep smiling and take care. Bye-bye.